Hello guys, this video for predictions is going to be shot pretty raw while it's bouncing in my hand. Just finished up eating and making a jelly sandwich, mostly because I'm all about the jelly. Speaking of jellies, they're on the top of the leaderboard right now, and they're looking quite fantastic. And to be honest with you, predictions might say, yes, they look fantastic on paper and off paper, putting up the #1 points, 4 scored this week and last week, totaling the #1 team in the league, followed by me and then Blaine as the 1-2-3 knockout squad. Now, because of this 1-2-3 knockout squad, we've got to have somebody go to 2-1, and we're getting exactly that in this first game of the week from Blaine, matched up with the Jellies. Now, I'm not even going to look at this team. I'm not even going to look at the matchups, not how close it is right off this bat. I'm taking the Jellies. Why? Because I'm a believer. And believers don't quit. Do believers quit? No, they don't. So, let's just kind of do a quick rundown of that matchup. This matchup separated by only 0.5 in predictions. The closest we've had in predictions so far yet. Now, this is really going to all come down to which guy does not show up, I believe, in the running back. I think Demaryius Thomas, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Chris Johnson. Those are going to be some great matchups in terms of wideouts. I think that they're going to balance out as most unless Calvin Johnson goes absolutely off against the Packers, which, to be honest with you, it's a defense that I probably know the best in this league. They could be a fantastic defense. They could also, not play so well. But for a conference game, I feel like they're going to really step up their game in the defense, and I would be surprised if Calvin didn't get a touchdown, but he'll probably see the end zone at least once, probably put up at least 90 to 100 yards, have a pretty solid game. Now, it's really going to come down to the running backs. You've got Chris Ivory and Trent Richardson for the Jellies. That's going to be kind of a risky picks for them. They didn't pick up Ahmad Bradshaw off the waivers as I requested they should, but, that's just me. Trent Richardson, however, and the Colts are going up against Jacksonville, potentially one of the worst teams in the league still, and that's where he could put up good numbers. Now, Eddie Lacy and Monte Ball. Monte Ball, he's had pretty steady weeks playing against the Seahawks, though. Who knows how that run defense is going to be for them? They looked non-existent last week against the Chargers, putting up -3 points for their defense. However, Eddie Lacy could also go off, coming back from that kind of head injury, not looking great. So we'll see what happens there. Like I said, this one's going to be really close all the way down. I think that the big differential maker is going to be in the flex, and the Percy Harvin will score better than Macklin. Macklin gets targeted a lot in the end zone. He did last week, so we'll see what happens there. But I just think that Percy Harvin is obviously going to see the ball a lot more, and it's just going to be a better chance for him to score more. So that's why I'm taking the Jellies this week. Well, that's not the only reason why. I just think they're awesome, and I'm on that bandwagon. Next on to Team Kobe versus Team Plies. This is the battle of the brothers. Now, Josh has been the big surprise this year, going 0-2 after having a pretty solid outing last year and pretty solid predictions. Now, he's got Jamal Charles on the bench, which I think is fantastic. Just no belief in him at all. Granted, he has been kind of like injury prone, but he's got him and Wes Welker sitting on the bench, so just kind of a funny bad outlook for Team Kobe, just not producing the kind of numbers he wanted to. Sam, I should say, is predicted to win by a ton. I think that's basically comes down to how well the Cutler-Brandon Marshall combination goes. If it does as well as last week, Sam will be unstoppable. However, this is going to be clearly Sam in my pick. I'm picking Sam, and Josh, unfortunately, going to 0-3. Just not the best matchup for him at this point in where he's at in the league. Now, next we have Dad Broman, Mr. Broman, who's also not doing super hot, versus Adam Fuchs. Now, both of these guys are 0-2, so somebody's going to be dropping to 0-3 for sure. And right now, Mr. Broman's projected to win. And I'm going to take the under here. I'm going to go with Adam. This is my upset of the week. I think that Adam, might just pull it off. I think it's going to be all Andrew Luck putting up big numbers. I think Aaron Rodgers is a little under projected here with 17 points. I think he can at least get in the 20s, but I still feel like some of his players Mr. Bowman has are a little over projected. I don't think the Vikings running back now with their Adrian Peterson out, I don't think the backup is going to put up any decent amount of numbers, but that's just me. So I'm just going to take Adam. I think that all of his players are going to just maybe finally start to click this week. So that's just my upset of the week. Best of luck to you both, though. And I could see this one going either way. Next we have our reigning champ, Mr. Anders Broman, versus the newcomer, Kevin Nordstrom. Kevin's projected to lose right now by right around 15 points, and I think that's going to be right. I think the Peyton Manning and Julius Thomas are going to go off playing the Seahawks. They want revenge. They're hungry. That's going to be a great game. And you also got Reggie Wayne. Now, he hasn't been targeted a ton. However, they are playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, like I said before, so that one could go either way in terms of if it's just depending if he gets targeted or not. So we'll see what happens there. Now, in terms of the rest of those lineups, we've finally got Mr. Nordstrom, who has C.J. Spiller in. However, some of his interesting plays, you've got Roddy White sitting on the bench, and he's got Sanu in. A.J. Green's probably going to be out. So I just don't, I don't know. It's a risky play. It could pay off for him, and I could be wrong. But right now, my prediction, I'm taking Anderson this week. And then our next matchup, we have myself versus Bjorn. This will also be a close matchup. Now, as of it stands right now, Adrian Peterson's still in for Bjorn. Obviously, I know he cares about this league enough to where he'll update it. Probably going to see Bernard Pierce or Doug Martin get put in. And the running back to kind of fill in. If he does put in either one of those, it's going to be a tight race overall. I'm thinking just because I have A.J. Green sitting out this week, unless he's cleared to play, then I'm going to take Bjorn in this week. I think Bjorn will dethrone me and put me down to my first loss. He's kind of hungry for another win, and it's going to be either way, this one and the other matchup between the Jellies and Cam or Blaine will also be a very close matchup. So this will be just a really good week again for football. For fantasy-wise, I think for a couple of these games, I still think that the Plies game is going to be an absolute blowout. Sam's going to just throttle his brother. But, rest of these could be a pretty good shootout. So best of luck to all of you guys in the rest of the league, and this has just kind of been a quick predictions video. I'm heading out the door pretty quick, had a long day of teaching, didn't have a lot of time to put into this today. Sorry, no falling balloons or gas mask. So best of luck to you all this week. Hopefully you set your lineups for tonight's game. You've got Tampa Bay playing, so if you've got, that's where that big Doug Martin play comes in, so if you don't put him in, then you're kind of out of luck. So you've got Tampa Bay versus the Falcons, and that's what else we'll see. So if you're not going to get Roddy White in now, you're not going to get him in all this weekend. So you continue to make that jelly sandwich, Wes. Yeah. All right. That's been this week's predictions. Good luck to everybody this week.